Hello NitroNights fans! Whoops! Surprise! A new face is joining the grid. My name is Stefanie and I'm your host for tonight. I'm super excited and surely you are as well, so let's jump right into it. Well, the lights hit green for another episode of NitroNights. Once more, we have a lot of interesting topics waiting for you guys. We will take a look at the final race of the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup, a new, really interesting trend in our social showroom, new gaming releases in our Newsflash, and of course, we will do our Trackmania Hot Lap. For this, we have a very special guest with us tonight. It's Coanda Simsport's Mitchell deJong. Take a look at him.
There's no questioning Mitchell deJong's talent. He was the youngest driver to ever compete in the Rallycross X Games in 2013, where he brought home silver. He was only 15 years old back then. 1 year later, he went for gold. On top of that, Mitchell is a formidable sim racer. His biggest sim racing series was in 2018, where he finished 3 different iRacing World Championships high in the rankings. He became the inaugural IRX Rallycross champion, 2nd in the F1 WCS, and 3rd in the VRS GT3 series. deJong was also a competitor in the 2nd season finals of World's Fastest Gamer, thanks to his success in iRacing. This guy never stops, and will also attend the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series in future. He's now using his experience to help others, as a prominent coach at the Virtual Racing School.
It is so good to see that veterans enjoy helping others in esports racing so much. I'm sure Mitchell has a lot to tell right now because he is with us right now, straight from the US. Hi, Mitchell. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
I have a lot of questions for you, but my first question, when I also saw this clip about you, how did you become that good so early? I mean, what's your secret? You started at 5 years old, I think, with go-karts, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just always had a passion for racing.
Yeah.
I can remember back in when I was younger, I had asked my parents if I could race motorcycles, and thankfully they said no at the time. They later put me in go-karts, and we just kind of went from there. Racing progressed, and by the time I was 13, I had started getting into sim racing back in 2011, and just kind of progressed on from that moment.
Yeah, it seems like it's a big part of your life. Is it also because maybe you have some influence in the family?
Yeah, so my dad grew up, always around cars as well.
Yeah.
He eventually started his own off-road, like sand car business, building cars. And, I always just grew up around the shop, helping out and, sweeping up the shop and things like that. He eventually got into some like desert racing, like you'd see in like the Baja and stuff like that. And, I just always enjoyed it. You grow up around it. I've never had the pressure to race or anything like that. I just always had it, there for fun. And I think that's what's helped the most. It's kind of been my own passion that's grown in me and let me continue to build off it.
But why Rallycross and no classic rally? I mean, what makes the difference for you?
So growing up, I always was driving different things, starting in go-karts. A few years later after that, going to some off-road racing, as well as some legend oval pavement racing that we have in the US here. Just always driven different things. And, a unique opportunity popped up through Red Bull to jump in Rallycross. So basically combining the best of both worlds, loving both types of racing because they're so different. Yeah. And, it just allowed me to kind of jump into that. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you are also very, very successful in other series. You will attend also the eNASCAR iRacing Championship for the first time. So together with the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup, you will race in the 2 biggest iRacing series. That's a lot. So when coaching at VRS, do you focus on Rallycross anyway?
I would say my specialty is Rallycross for coaching. I enjoy all types of racing, like I said. So, kind of going through it, I always tell myself, like, I can't take on anymore. I'm already limited on time. But, this year we went to try to get our Oval Pro license with that. And we're on our way to doing so. And, I just, it's all different types of racing. I enjoy all of it. And, I always tell myself that's it. But, maybe we'll have a dabble into something else in the future too.
What is the most important ability, especially for Rallycross? What would you say?
I would say for Rallycross, it's all about being smooth, not overdriving the car. These things have so much power, so little tire, and the tracks are quite small too. So overdriving a dirt section a little bit too much, or jumping too far off a jump and breaking the car. It's all about limiting yourself rather than driving just as hard as you possibly can.
I would say, like, personally for myself, not being scared, because just looking at it, like in real life, oh my God, I don't know if I could like get into a car. Sim racing, yes, but not in real life, maybe. So for now, let's hit the gas for a moment and go on to our quickfire question round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Nice. Okay, let's start into it. Favorite racing game?
I would say iRacing. For sure.
All right. Yeah, what a surprise. Favorite driver?
Sebastian Loeb.
We'll take that. Favorite car?
Audi R8.
Personal hero of esports racing?
Martin Kroenke, my teammate.
Favorite racing series except Rallycross?
Porsche Esports Supercup.
That was quick. Mobile racing games, like it or not?
Maybe. Yes and no.
What? You have to say yes or no. Why maybe?
Well, maybe because I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it at times.
Oh, so you enjoy games when you're good at it?
Exactly, of course.
I got you. So you did really good. I enjoyed it. So even faster than our quickfire round was the action actually at the final round of the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup at Monza. So Mitchell, you were also part of it. Let's have a quick look at it together.
Having started in May, the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup came to a close this weekend. After 9 grueling race rounds and countless hours of sweat and tears, the thrilling finale took place at Monza. The final race's focus was clearly on the rivalry between Sebastian Job and Joshua Rogers. Their standings had already qualified them for the next season, but for the two racers, it wasn't just about that. It was about racing glory, $50,000 in prize money, and the title of Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup champion. Job being 71 points ahead of Rogers made it difficult but not impossible for the Australian to defend last year's title. Qualifying already paved the way for an exciting race day, with Rogers beating Job by just 0.04 of a second. With the sprint race up next, there was no time to slack off if the Aussie wanted to make the comeback complete. It was a head-to-head race, with both fighting for valuable points.
Casabon has been involved in it as well. A big crash at the front at the second chicane! And that's going to be one of your championship contenders, Rogers!
A crash in front of the 20-year-old Rogers put the final nail in the coffin. He spun and fell to P25, which he couldn't recover from. This enabled Job to get enough points in the sprint race to be out of reach, making him this season's champion before the final race. However, there was still plenty of action in the main race, with a fight at the top between the two Red Bull drivers. Job came in second, and his teammate Graham Carroll secured the win. Joshua had to claw his way back to the top after a mistake in the second chicane dropped him to P24. But he showed his class, recovering to 5th place behind Mitchell deJong. With next year's season already announced and a prize pool of $200,000 to boot, we can look forward to a nail-biting rematch next year.
That was a really exciting competition. Mitchell, you were also part of this competition, so let's talk about it a little bit more. So what was actually your motivation to also race in other series apart from your main discipline? Is it just for fun, or do you want to broaden your skills more?
I think the biggest thing for me is I just enjoy competition.
Yeah.
With the Porsche Esports Supercup, it's the top of the top, the best of the best of road racing. Not only in iRacing, but arguably in all of sim racing. I think I just love to push myself like that. Have the opportunity to see what I can kind of get out of myself. To run towards the front, it requires so much prep, and I kind of love it.
Mitchell, how was it to be in the US and then also regularly participating in European championships? I mean, I can imagine you are waking up in the middle of the night.
It's a bit difficult. Most of my race days are waking up at 3:30 a.m. Just to give myself a few hours to prepare, wake up, and get ready for the race. It's been about 5 years now that we've been doing that. So at this point, you're kind of used to it, but it also makes it difficult because your normal day, you're going to bed at 11 p.m., waking up at a normal time, and then you suddenly have to switch on the weekend. So it's tough.
But you're anyhow a morning person. You told me that before, right? So it's no big deal for you.
Nope, just a cup of coffee and we're good to go.
Okay, nice. That's pretty good. But don't forget to eat, okay? So how's the team spirit while you're driving in the same competition, like with the other Coanda guys? Would you rather actually let a team member pass if he could make the competition, or is it that you're just fighting for your own result?
I think it depends on the situation. In our team, Coanda Simsport, we have a very special, I would say, bond with one another where we're always looking out, of course, for the interests of the team, as well as, for our own races too. So if we need to stay in a certain spot to help our own points, we're free to do that. If there's a chance that we can help someone else by making them get by us a little bit easier so they can actually fight for the front or something like that. We have that relationship where that's no problem. We're in it for the bigger picture, of course.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know what, Mitchell? I heard rumors say that you will move into the team house pretty soon. Is that true?
Well, that was the plan kind of starting this year. Of course, the current times that we're in kind of affected that. But, going forward, we'll have to see. We'll be there kind of soon. And then, we just go from there. But I think that is the goal for sure.
But this is also something that you're aiming for. Why now and not earlier?
I think it's a special time for sim racing, especially if you take into account everything that's happened this year. Sim racing got a huge push, really. Everyone is trying to get into it, and it's just a matter of kind of riding the wave, I guess.
Yeah.
And in the situation, I guess, that I'm in, being in the West Coast, it does make things a little bit easier being over there for some of these races, and being able to practice with your teammates and whatnot is definitely a cool thing. I don't know if anyone's seen the setup that they have there. Is pretty awesome too. So I can't complain about that.
Yeah. I saw it a couple of times. But you know what? If you would ask me to leave California, I would definitely say no. Okay.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, it is. It is really. Mitchell, let's jump right into our social showroom. So there are a couple of tweets that I want to show you. So let's talk about it. There's this little trend going on Twitter in the esports racing community. It says how it started and how it's going. Let's take a look at that. So there are two pictures that people people are posting. We also have an example here. So this is Tom Deacon, my lovely colleague, and this is how it started with NitroNights and how it's going right now. We have a very, very funny answer to that. Draw me like one of your French Toms. I don't know if you remember that, Mitchell, from Titanic. Maybe you know this scene. So how would a post look for you? How it started and how it's going? I would say it would be the other way around. So it started with real life, really dirty, like on the road, and now you're in your room with your rig, or how would it look like?
Yeah, I would say so. In the last couple of years, for sure. You know, nice air conditioning going in the sim room for sure. So it's a little bit different than the real life.
Great. Yeah, maybe you also will post about it. Let's have a quick look at the second post that I brought for you. So in our last episode, our guest Mike Chanel, he commented also in our quickfire round, who is his like superhero, and he asked it's Igor Fraga actually, and he reacted to that. That was really, really cool. So he said, thanks a lot for your words, Mike. These kind of things really motivates me more to keep pushing as hard as I can. Hopefully I can make it to there one day. That was really, really cool to see. Is this also something that motivates you if people say, well, yeah, Mitchell is actually one of my biggest motivations too, or even my esports racing superhero?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of times in some of these races, you always get caught up in the race and preparing for the next one. And I'd say when you hear kind of nice things like that, it's definitely exciting, because it's not just about the competition, but if you can have an impact on someone and kind of inspire them to do something great with it too.
Yeah, and I also think that these are the best sides of social media, to be honest. I have a last tweet for you. We found a really, really funny video. So Forza Motorsport 7 is coming for the Xbox Game Pass. And this guy here did a little video on how it would look like if people who have no experience in sim racing would participate in these games. So we just see flying cars. I really, really love that video. Are there also other games that you play apart from racing?
I'm a big FPS person, all types of games like that. I'm excited for kind of some of the new games coming out, like Cyberpunk and whatnot. I do enjoy my games. Nowadays, it's, you know, not too much time of getting to play them, but we try to get it in when we can.
Yeah. Okay, Mitchell. So your teammates already have done it. Now it's your turn. Do you know what's coming up next?
Trackmania, I believe.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the Trackmania Hot Lap. This is my favorite part of the show. Mitchell, are you ready for our Trackmania Hot Lap?
I sure hope so.
Okay, so then start the game, please.
Let's see. I think I need to beat them, otherwise they have big bragging rights over me. Oh, geez. A little bit wide here.
But that was a pretty good start.
Pretty nice.
Do you know what? I heard that you were practicing the game. Is that true?
We loaded up a little bit before we started here, but I'm not very good at Trackmania, I'll be honest, so...
But it looks really good. Could this be also something that you would, if possible, also race in real life?
Trackmania, ooh, I feel like I would fear for my life driving this in real life. Oh, jeez. Okay, I think we'll give it another go.
Yeah.
We need to have a perfect run here.
You still have, how many minutes do you still have?
A minute 50, it looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're not doing too hot. We need a bit of a clutch here.
Is there always a thing that you do before you start racing? I don't know. You say something to yourself or even do something?
For me personally, I'm a big music person, so music always helps you get in the right mindset.
Oh.
Otherwise, you have certain routines that you always do with putting on certain gloves first and whatnot. So I would say, yeah, weird things like that. We all have something unique. I know one of my teammates has something where if they're not fast in a certain shirt, they'll change it before the start of the session. All right, I think we'll take this run. I didn't hit a wall, so
nice.
See.
Oh.
T32.
Oof.
Felt okay. Wasn't perfect.
I guess you cannot make another one. Can we have a look at your best round?
I don't think I have enough time.
No, I don't think you have enough time.
Oh no.
So what was the best? Oh. Okay, let's have a look. So I cannot see the time exactly, but what I know is that you made it to second place. So you did not manage to beat Tommy Osgard, but you managed to be on the second place. Is that good enough for you, Mitchell?
We'll take it. That's a podium. You know, you can't be upset about that.
Are you talking to Tommy then afterwards?
I definitely will. I guess he'll find out what I've run, and I'm sure he'll have some bragging rights on me. But hopefully, I beat at least Mac, so I can at least have an edge over him.
Okay, nice. Mitchell, it was so nice having you here on NitroNights. Good luck with your current IRX season and everything else on your schedule. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But your schedule, guys, is not over yet. Mitchell has just accomplished his second round of the current iRacing Rallycross World Championship, so stay tuned for the Newsflash. In the main event, all eyes were on current leader Mitchell deJong and his primary competitor Ilari Laminzivu. The event didn't go well for both. Laminzivu finished his main round at 4th place. deJong was turned right at the beginning of the main round and finished at P7, no qualification for them. Winner was Johnny Ollikainen from Finland, who drove all competitors away since lap 7, followed by his teammate Tommy Holman. Both drive for Set Esports. Arcade racing fans, mark next Saturday the 16th in your calendar as Dirt 5 and Mario Kart Home Circuit will celebrate their release. Dirt 5 could become the biggest edition of Codemasters Rally series so far, featuring a massive editor mode, which we have already shown you in our preview on overtake.gg. Awesome weather effects and killer graphics complete the package. Mario Kart Home Circuit instead will transfer the beloved gameplay of the series into everybody's living room. Via augmented reality, players will steer true mini-karts through self-made tracks and battle the AI or real opponents. Make sure to have a look at Overtake and watch out for our reviews after launch. We stick with game announcements as Need for Speed Hot Pursuit will get a remaster on the 6th of November. Hot Pursuit by Criterion was a reboot of the series in 2010. Features like tuning, which had become a flagship of the series by then, were abandoned. Instead, the police gameplay of Need for Speed's early days had a second spring. The remaster is developed by Stellar Entertainment, who also made the remaster of Criterion's other big jewel, Burnout Paradise. This is it, you guys. Our Newsflash for this week is done and dusted. Well, this is it, you guys. We have passed the finish line. It was a pleasure for me to present you this week's episode. And as always, take care and don't forget to buckle up.